We're going to talk tonight about the money cure. And I'm going to share with all of you some things that I've learned over time about money. And it's going to be a very different perspective. Okay. Let me open up my screen here and show you a little bit of things that we're going to go through today. I'll set a nice, clear agenda. And I know I have so many smart people on here. I see a lot of you here, and I'm so thankful that you're here for this. This is how to go vertical with your wealth. And there's some real fundamental understandings here that can hold you back from going vertical. Now, here's a little bit about the challenges that we have with money, and feel free to add your own challenges. And let's take, if we could, just for tonight, and this is going to make so much sense to all of you, let's take the emotion of money and what you think it is or what it could be, and let's just tuck it aside for a little bit. Let's just tuck it aside. It's going to make so much sense when we get to a point, because a lot of people are feeling this, that money is really scarce, right? Some people are feeling like money's scarce, right? Like it just seems like it's not everywhere. And then we also have this, we have to work really hard. We got to work real hard for it, okay? You got to really work hard. And then the next thing is we think we have to it takes endless amounts of time. I mean, lots of time to make money, because maybe we're trading dollars for hours or something, right? And wait a minute, there's more to life than just money. Somebody told me that one time. They said, you know what, Mike? There's more to life than money. And I said, perfectly well said, from a broke ass individual. I said, but let me explain to you what money can do for some people. It could feed the homeless. It could solve problems with bad water. It could create some shelter. I get what you're trying to say, just I'm not sure your intent behind that. And then what about this one? Okay, let's talk about the rich. The rich keep getting richer while the others get poorer. These aren't new terms to you. I just want to maybe bring it together, and maybe throughout the training tonight, point a spotlight on how maybe one word, one thought, one past thing might be what's exactly affecting all of you from having every single thing you want, right? Or what about this? It always feels like we could just use just a bit more than we have. I just want a bit more, right? I just want a little bit more. But you don't know how to do it. And you think that what's holding you back is you think it's like, well, I don't have the knowledge, or I don't have the job, or they're not paying, or COVID did this to me, and this person did that. And you don't understand my story, Mike. Maybe that's true. Maybe I don't understand your story. Or maybe your story is the exact thing. How many of you have read, and I use this example a lot, how many of you ever heard or read of the book Think and Grow Rich? Have you? Type it in the chat bar. You have? It's such an amazing book, isn't it? When I go to these big events where I'm speaking, and the most I've ever spoke to is like 1,000 people, but sometimes you see an event with 8,000 people and they say, who read Think and Grow Rich? And everybody's like, me. You see this badge of honor? I read the big ass book. And I look in the room and I'm go, people just aren't rich. Maybe it's the wrong book. Maybe it's the wrong book. Did you ever think of that? If the book was so amazing, why is everybody, now please understand, I'm not discrediting the value of the book. I'm just saying, if it was that easy, why wouldn't we all be swimming in the level of wealth that you want? Here's my big promise to you in this training. I want to unlock some of the secrets, okay? Some of the secrets to money, and show you that you hold the key to creating much more wealth than you have, and doing it at a much easier way. Okay, So here's the components of this. First, you have you, right? This is you today, right? You. And then you have all these vehicles of wealth, right? So this is wealth vehicle. Now, when we say wealth, vehicles, okay, let's just talk about that. Could be cash, credit card, it could be anything. Very key point coming now, everybody. Are you ready for this? Your relationship between you and vehicles of wealth. And you're going to see how many vehicles of wealth there is. Just think of your relationship quickly right now. Your relationship with the money inside your wallet or not the money. Your relationship with your checkbook. What do you say when you pull out a credit card? We're going to dig into this relationship part, and it's going to be, I hope, and at any time a light bulb starts popping like, oh, I got a pretty crappy relationship with money, then maybe it's the point we could fix that tonight, right now, together. If you look at this, right, and without getting too foo-foo-y and crazy about it, let's just say this. Money is a frequency, right? It's a frequency. I don't think this may not be new to many of you that nothing is actually sitting still. You know that, right? Like if we take a magnifying glass and we look at it, a rock is moving. There's things moving and everything. There's things moving. Well, if it's moving, then there's a frequency to it, right? There's a rhythm to this. So I wonder if everything has a frequency, then maybe the bank, the checking, every part of this with wealth, cash, gold, silver, whatever, all has this frequency. The question is, do you have this? Resistance. Do you have resistance to this? I mean, just think of the language that some of you might be using. What about the language for your paycheck? If you get a paycheck, are you like, this is horrible, this is bad, this is not enough, this is a deficit? And do you think that improves it or makes it more resistance? You tell me in the chat bar. What do you think it does? And don't worry about spelling, because I'll probably spell something wrong. So just put the word the best you can in there. It's going to create more resistance. Our goal today is to have a new understanding around this and create this harmony. What if you could create some harmony around this whole thing here? Now it's time to peel back the onion. It's time to peel back the onion. So let's look at, and I want you to work with me here. Okay, I want you to work with me here. Tell me. Okay, so if we look at your mom or somebody when you were young, did they say this? Don't pick up money. I'm pretty sure my mom didn't say that. She's like, pick that stuff up, pick it up. Okay, don't walk by. But a lot of people say don't pick up money because it's what? What is it? It's dirty. Now, let me ask you a question here. If you've been programmed in your life, and let's call it, to me, that's trauma. That's resistance, okay? Because you were told, don't pick it up. It's dirty. Wash your hands. Don't lick your fingers. Don't put them near your mouth. No, it's dirty. It's dirty. Do you see how quick this? What about this one? Maybe your dad said, making money is very hard. And I bet in some of your generational times where your grandfather or maybe your father, maybe they worked on a farm, or maybe they worked in a coal mine, or maybe they worked through the Depression. They were like, money is hard to come by and you got to work hard to get it. Anybody have a grandfather or somebody like that maybe? What do you think that did? Do you think that created a frequency or a resistance for you? You tell me, right? Doesn't grow on trees, Ted, right? Right? And if you look at this, now what about this? What about teachers? Now, don't just write mine down. I want you to start going, holy crap. What about this one? You're not a numbers person. I'm not a numbers person. I'm bad. Math is hard. Math is hard. I don't like numbers. Oh, okay. Well, wait a minute, everybody. Wealth and money, the last I checked, you added up with numbers. So you've been building all of these cycles of trying. What about this? We said this before. Money isn't everything. It even goes deeper than that. How many of you, and I'm just scratching the surface on some of the basic ones. What about this? What about you lost a lot of money? Or someone took money from you, right? Your friend beat you out of money. You had a divorce and you lost money. You had a car accident and you got sued and lost money. This is very important for you to hear this because I've been through all of these different things, not divorce. I've been through the lawsuits over and over and over again. I'm just finishing another one. You know why? Because when you have money, people like to come and just see if they could tap the well a little bit. But you know what? I don't create trauma from it. I create a new understanding, a new definition. And at the bottom here is you. It's you. Now there's good news and there's bad news. Which one would you like? Type in the chat bar. You want the good news or you want the bad news? Why don't we start with the good? Everybody's like, oh, give me the good first, man. You're killing me here. You're killing me, Mike. Okay. I'm going to give you the bad news first because you all wanted the good news. All right. The bad news is this. All right. You had it. It's done. You had these trauma. You had these things. You say these things about money. It's okay. Here's the really good news. You know different now. You know better now. And we can start right now to rewind and create a new relationship. We can create a brand new relationship. So what I want you to do for me, can we work together a little bit? Is it okay? Tell me in the chat bar. Can we get to work a little bit? Is that all right? Yeah? All right, let's get to work, Gary. So here's what I want you to do. I'm going to write something down. Now, I know you probably already started to switch your thinking, but I want you to write the word and then give me the gut response. Go to your gut, what your gut says about this thing. Don't worry if it's not what you want, because then I'm going to say, reverse your gut. Let's create a new definition for this. Let's look at this one here. How about cash? What's your first gut response? Cash. Hard to come by, useless, dirty. Uncle Sam wants all of it. Cash is king. Okay, cash is king. I wonder why, Christine, I wonder why cash isn't queen. Why is it the king? That's maybe cash is queen and king. Okay, cash is pretty. Never have enough. Okay, there's never enough of it. So I'm never satisfied. So you know what? Don't give them any more. They're never satisfied. Don't forget about giving them more. You're never going to scratch that itch. It's always going to itch, right? It's losable. Oh, it's lovable. All right. What about this one? Ready? Checks. Checks in your checkbook. What do you think about that? Oh, not enough in there. I don't like pulling money out of the pain. Ted says pain. Outdated. Love depositing. You could tell Christina, like she just graduated from Secrets of Power training. She just creates everything. Okay. Checks in the mail. Don't use them, right? Dangerous. All right. People could steal them. People are going to get them. All right. Let's try another one. What about bank statements? Here we go. Bank statements. What do you think about that one? Sad. Okay. Thank you for your honesty. What statements? Okay. Maybe the digital ones. Depressing, confusing, reconcile, must check, not enough. All right, so it looks like almost unanimously, we have some trauma around this. We have some reinforced trauma. What about this? Change. You know, like coins. What do you think about, where did it all go anyway? Where did they all go that nobody wants to take coins? Like, is somebody burying it in their backyard or something? Like, what happened to the world with all the coins? So we got hate them, parking meters, coffee, nightstand, tedious, take up space, big jar. Okay, right? And it's so interesting. We always had, when I was a kid, we always had a big, in our house, a big water jug. And we'd throw, and my dad always had damn coins. Now I'm trying to wonder where, like, why he always had all these coins all the time. I'm not sure about that. But he'd come home every day, and I'll have to ask mom about it. Like, why do you have all that change all the time? And you fill it up, and it never looks like a lot. But then all of a sudden, there's a lot of money in that, right? Let's do one more. Ready for this one? Credit cards. Credit cards. What do you think about that? What is your debt? Okay, hate them, dangerous, pain. Chris says rewards, caution, ouch. What else? Points, rip off. Like, it's so interesting. And if you only get this one thing, the new definition, when I just said credit card to myself, I said free money. You know why? I had to go in and buy a book for my daughter today on Amazon. She put it in the cart, and I went in and I grabbed my points, and it cost me nothing for the book. It cost me nothing. There's no pain. Whatever I put on the credit card, I paid it off anyway. So to me, credit cards are a vehicle of free wealth. But I get where you're coming from, because there's this other definition. And I remember, I think it was my son one time when he came home from school, he said, "Dad, you can't use credit cards. They're bad." And I said, "Who told you this? The 23-year-old teacher? She don't even understand the concept of a credit card, son. You can use it wrong and it can cause bad, but let's talk about how it can be very, very good. Let's talk about how it can be good." Now, if you just look at these couple things here, and I'm going to give you an amazing tool, and we're only going to scratch the surface a little bit here tonight, but I'm going to give you a vehicle so you could go deeper on this with yourself, okay? Let's look at this chart that we created here. And you could draw out the little version of the chart or take a picture of this for yourself if you want. And here's what the columns are going to be. So one is going to be the frequency column, right? The frequency. This is what's the energy and the feeling that you get from it, right? So what's the feeling that you get from this? That's what you were just practicing right there. The next thing is, what is the resistance, right? What is the resistance or the pressure, the additional pressure? So we know what the vehicle's feeling like. What is the pressure that comes beyond this, caused by this? And now we just have to do one thing. We have to harmonize this. How do we harmonize this and clean it up, right? Clean it so we can move it forward. So you could take this chart and you could start writing down cash, and you could write down checks, and you could write down bank statements, and you could write down credit cards, and you could write down maybe gold, and you could write down maybe jewelry, and you could write down maybe your house, and then maybe your car, and everything that has a monetary value can have a sense of wealth around it. My C8, yeah, right? And if we could start getting this, you tell me in the chat bar, if we create and harmonize our relationship here, and we create a brand new feeling around these vehicles, what will change in your ability to create, gain, magnetize in your own wealth? Tell me in the chat bar. Now, I know it's a new thing you're trying on, but I want you to hear it from me, someone who sold a $32 million business, okay? And someone who I think has done very, very well his entire life. And I'm not bragging, I'm sharing the understanding. At one time I harmonized, but I didn't know what I was doing. That's why I didn't share it like this ever before. Now, when I go back and I look at how my wife and I have been debt free, no mortgage since we're 28, and I'm level 50 now. That's a long time with no mortgage and many houses later. I'm not bragging. I'm telling you right here, right on this page here, this understanding is the difference for money flowing in versus the resistance of pushing it away. If you stay in a sense of bad talk, bad feelings, poverty feeling. Now, I am not telling you, I am not the guy that's going to tell you, you gotta be it to get it, or whatever the hell they say. You gotta live it to get it. You should go buy yourself like a Lamborghini and be one of those guys that sits there, you know, the cool guy, right? Sits on the hood. He's got the Starbucks coffee and he's like, check me out. And I'm like, I'm looking at you. I'm just not quite sure what I'm feeling here right now. You know these people, right? And the fact is, you know, some people are really impressed by it. Yeah, fake it till you make it. Well, I don't know that. How about this? How about we understand it and then we just receive it with no pain, no punishment, no guilt, no judgment? Wouldn't that feel good? Like that you could just receive it without all of those feelings? Let's talk about now, like, there's way more levels to wealth than this. This is one level. And I know that people right away, they want to say health is wealth. I don't think it's one thing. Okay. I think it's this. I think it's all things. I think it's all things. And I believe it universally works together. Now, you've probably have seen different models of this before. And yeah, we have the money and finance right here. But I believe if you take this concept of frequency and resistance and the thought of harmonizing it, what would it look like if we harmonized all of these things? Because you tell me, if you don't harmonize your partner, right? Your relationship and your love of yourself, love of someone else, do you think that that could possibly cause some resistance right here? What do you think in your money and finance? You tell me in the chat bar. You tell me. I don't want to tell you. Do you think if we have resistance there, maybe it's creating 100%? And if you look at all the aspects of this, you could go anywhere you want on this and show that this here, this out of alignment, this resistance that we have, this past understanding that we have is caused a whole lot of things here. And just think how far back it could go for all of you. I mean, did you ever hear anybody, we were famished, right? And then the locust, and then we were eating porridge. And how much of that resistance was gifted to you? Was anybody gifted any resistance as a kid? You're not going to eat all those things? Starving children all over the world, you know. Oh my God, guilt me into eating it, please. That's going to serve me. And when I grow up, that guilt will feel really good. You want to go to where the starving people are? Like, is that what you want to do? Oh, thank you for the guilt, parents. Thank you for the guilt, friends. No, that creates trauma. But here's the goal. Here's the main thing. Doesn't matter what age you are. Doesn't matter at what point you are in time. You could change this relationship. Or you could reinforce the one that you have. You know what the one that they love to give you? It's this. They're only giving everybody $600. I get that may not be enough for you because you got $500 worth of shit you didn't need in your Amazon cart. and you got $1,000 cell phone that you probably could live without, and you got $500 sneakers and a kick-ass watch and some $300 earbuds. I get the $600 may not work for everybody, but let's reinforce it and make it pain. And guess what? Let's co-support each other. We'll tell everyone else, and we'll create a magnet of resistance. Do you know these parties? Have you joined any of them before? The conversation of the resistance party? I always say this. Why don't we have a different conversation and see how can we create a new relationship? You know what I want to hear? I want to hear someone who got the $600 and turned it into 60,000. That's what I want to hear. That's what I want the person to private message me on Facebook. I just got $600, Mike. Tell me how to make it into 600,000. I'm like, let's create a new relationship with money. Let's create a new understanding about all these aspects right here. That's how you change the world. You change the world not by giving $20 to someone who needs $20. It's by giving them $20 and teaching them how to double, triple, and compound that. Now that's how you remove suffering and all this stuff. Giving meals is great. Teaching them how to create an endless production of food, that to me sounds a whole lot smarter. Hey, I want to say thank you to you. And I want to thank you for whatever support and whatever change you'll do in yourself. Whatever change you'll do in yourself, because if you transform, or I should say when you transform, you'll be part of transforming humanity too. Tell me about what we covered tonight. How beneficial would it have been if you knew this 25 years ago? Tell me that in the chat bar. Like, what if you knew this 25 years ago? I mean, like, I didn't know it. I was putting pieces together. It's just, but the thing is, not that I wish I knew it then. We all know it right now.